think $100,000 is impressive? Just wait till you see what happens to your net worth after you hit that milestone. $100,000 is when your money starts working overtime, when your money starts working for you, and when this little thing called generational wealth gets easier and easier. Your money is going to be increasing so fast after you hit $100,000 that even Lewis Hamilton isn't going to be able to keep up with you. So let's dive right in and figure out how we're going to win this race towards financial freedom. Let's rock. What's up, guys? This is your boy Kenny Finance. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is the package that helps you get to $100,000 and help take that 100K and turn it into millions of dollars. But if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate all the support and you guys checking out this channel. And as the house of smart money moves, one of the most important things you can do is have a sound game plan of deploying your capital after you hit $100,000. And that's what this video is intended to solve for you guys. It's one, going to show you how to stack 100K. And number two is going to outline why your portfolio has rocket ship potential once you have $100,000. And lastly, number three, which is a gift to my subscribers. And if you aren't a subscriber, do yourself a great service and hit that button down below. You don't want to miss a beat when it comes to smart money moves. But number three, we are going to touch on how to turn that $100,000 into $1 million. So don't miss out on that smart wealth game plan, and let's dive into this video. Number one, diving into how to stack $100,000. Now look, it is probably the hardest thing to do is to save and accumulate that first $100,000. But I'm telling you, once you get there, you're relieved. You're in a whole new ball game, making money, making investments, generating wealth. It gets so much easier. But the grind to 100K is not easy at all. So to tackle this, I gave you guys a 2x2 game plan that I think is going to help you stack $100,000 in a few years. So the first two, I want you to think about one, your day job. First and foremost, I want you to keep your day job. I'm not telling you to watch this video, go quit your job, and think you're gonna have $100,000 overnight. That's not how we play here, all right? Keep your day job, but what I want you to do with that day job is one, maximize your earnings potential by asking for pay bumps, promotions, asking for more opportunities, or jumping to different jobs that have higher pay, etc. Maximize the dollar that you receive within your paycheck, and I want you to save every penny that you feasibly can from your job. And to do that, you have to have a very, very, very sound budgeting discipline. And if you have absolutely no budgeting discipline, click that link below where I give you a free 50-30-20 budget that can help you maximize your budgets and save as much as you can. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings and investing. So 50-30-20 if you need it. But maximize as much as you feasibly can with your earnings potential from your job and save every last penny. Next, number two, you're not going to become a 100,000-aire or a millionaire or a billionaire overnight simply from your 9 to 5. What you have to do is if you have extra time, extra resources, and extra skills, I want you to put that to work and earn yourself some passive income. Try to figure out what you are absolutely talented at in the world and try to figure out how you can monetize that. Whether it is coaching, whether it is tutoring, whether it is dog walking, whatever that may be, there are literally thousands of ways to make thousands of dollars every single month that just require incremental hours on the weekends or extra time to put a little bit of work. So try to find ways to generate passive income. And I think if you maximize your earnings potential from your job and you generate a couple $1,000s each month from a side hobby or a passive income stream, I think in a few years you could stack up $100,000 of liquid cash. But that's just the first two. The second tier of this 2x2 is I want you all to look at investing all of that cash that you accumulate from your job and your passive income. And this is what I like to call the cash flow to investments waterfall. This is how we're gonna play this. Number one, I want you to take at least half of all the cash that you get from your job and from your passive income, and when you put that into high potential index funds. Now, I love index funds because they're essentially a basket of stocks that help you automatically diversify your investments, get exposure into the markets without having too much of an active investing headache. But what I want you to do is I don't want you to buy the S&P 500, which your 401k or IRA should be in. I want you to find those ETFs that have a little bit more upside potential, right? Like the VGTs of the world, which follow all of the tech companies. Or you can do an index fund that follows consumer or industrial. So wherever you have conviction that has potential to perform better than the S&P 500, buy more of those index funds. Because if you're investing in the market and you're getting a 10% return with the S&P 500, but there's an index fund getting a 20% return, you can potentially 2x your investment earning potential by having a higher performing index fund. So do your research first and foremost and try to find which one of those work for you so you can pick the best performing index fund to help accelerate your $100,000 journey. And with the cash flow that you have after investing in the high performing index funds, I want you to check out some opportunistic opportunities. These could be investing in real estate properties that you're renting out, not your primary home, but simply real estate properties that only generate passive income. Or you can look at flipping properties, or you can look at buying small businesses, you can look at other alternative assets, anything that is opportunistically going to sort of accelerate or flip a lot of capital so you can hit that $100,000 mark quicker. So first and foremost, invest in high-performing index funds, and then secondly, check out opportunistic bets. But with all these, I want you to do as much research as you can to make sure, one, it's a quality asset, and then two, your downside is protected, but then always have the goal in mind of stacking $100,000 or investing your way to $100,000 as quick as possible. Now, how long is it going to take? Look, I'm not a genie. This is not what this channel is for. I don't promise financial results. It may take 2 years. It may take 5 years. It may take 2 weeks, whatever it may be. It doesn't happen overnight. That's what I know. And the thing is, you have to be consistent. You have to trust the process, but you have to have the goal in mind of stacking $100,000 and you're investing your way to that. But all I know is it's going to take time. You have to trust the process and you have to give it time to let this wealth generating machine work for you. So don't stop. Ever. All right, stay in the game as long as you feasibly can. Now, number two, let's talk about the rocket ship potential of $100,000 and why that is the starting point of taking your wealth to the moon. So that first $100,000, one of the most legendary investors, Charlie Munger, who's one of the managing partners at Berkshire Hathaway and who passed away, unfortunately, rest in peace. He is literally one of the investing gods. He has a famous quote about $100,000. The first $100,000 is I don't care what you have to do, whether it's walking everywhere or buying food only with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. After 100K, you can ease on the gas a little bit. Now that is a famous quote, not from me, but from Charlie Munger. And he understands the struggle, the grind, and the time it takes to get to that $100,000. It is not easy at all. But I'm telling you, trust the process as much as you can, because once you get that first $100,000, all of this investing stuff gets so much easier. Let me show you. Let's just take two numbers, $10,000 and then $100,000. And let's try to compare what the earnings potential look like with the exact same effort and risk profile. So when you invest into the markets, you can typically get like a 10% return if you invest in any average S&P 500 index fund. So with that 10% return, if you put that $10,000 in a market, you're only getting $1,000 that year. Now look, for some people, that is like a lot of money, but for other people, that might not be moving the needle and not gonna get you out of bed and get you excited about investing, over $1,000. But with $100,000, that is $10,000 of a return that you've generated, all because you've had a larger starting balance to work with. This is because capital scales effectively due to compounding interest. Meaning, eventually, if you have $10,000 in the market, that's going to grow and grow and grow and grow over time and have the snowball effect of accumulating and hitting that 100K. But the thing is, once you hit 100K, that 10% return gets more. So now you have $110,000. And once you have 10% return on that, you have $121,000. It just grows on top of each other at larger sums every single year. And just imagine if you stayed in the mix by investing 10K each year and held this thing for like 17, 18 years, you're sitting at $1 million portfolio. And guess what 10% is of 1 million? 100K. All right. So that just shows that with the potential to have $100,000 as a starting balance with your investing game, it takes the wealth accumulation factor, the time to generate wealth, all this other stuff. It makes it quicker, it makes it more effective, and it makes it a better opportunity because you have so much more to work with. Like, there's a very clear reason why compound interest is one of the 8th wonders of the world. Is because as you sit in the market and let your wealth accumulate over time, that snowball just grows year after year after year after year, and the big money is going to be in the waiting. It's going to be in year 20, year 30, year 40. That is what's crazy. And I want to draw a graph for you guys too, so you can see this and get excited about it. With $100,000, if you invested in the market and let it sit, like I said, for like 19, 20 years, you're sitting at $1 million portfolio. Now, if you let it sit for 30 years, you were sitting at $3.3 million. And if you let it sit for 40 years, you were sitting at almost $9 million. That is right. starting with a $100,000 investing balance, only contributing $10,000 each year, and letting it invest in an asset that gets you 10% return every single year. Taking that 100K and turning that almost to $9 million. And that's what I like to call a wealth rocket ship. So if you're excited about this wealth rocket ship, first and foremost, congratulations. You have the right mindset of abundance, investing, and growth, and I want you all to stick to it. I want you to stay locked in, trust the process, give it time, but most importantly, put skin in the game and stay in the game as long as you feasibly can. Because for investors like us, all we need is time. All we need is time to unlock more opportunities, unlock more investments, put more capital to work, unlock more free cash flow, put more of that capital to work. That's all we need to let this rocket ship go as far as it feasibly can. I know at the beginning of the video, I said the moon, but we're not dreaming big enough. Let's go beyond the moon. I don't know where is beyond the moon. I'm not a science guy, but we can take this thing beyond our imagination if we trust these frameworks and let our money work for us in the long term. So stay in the pocket and stay in the game as long as you can. And also hit that subscribe button. Thanks. All right, so let's bring this home. Let's talk about the game plan to take that $100,000 and transform that into $1 million. Because once you hit that $1 million status, whew, you're moving different. So let's see how to play that. Number one, all because we are going from 100K to 1 million does not mean we change the investing framework. We are still putting a lot of our money into index funds that have high growth potential, and we're also gonna be putting it into opportunistic bets to get us more free cash flow. That fundamentally stays the same for the rest of your life. Stick with it, get it tattooed on yourself. That does not change ever. Secondly, what opens up for us is the diversification of opportunities. Once you hit 100K, 200K, you start to approach accredited investor status, and that allows for you to invest in things like private equity, hedge funds, alternative real estate, all kinds of things. So what I want you to do is once you hit that tier, I want you to start looking at the opportunities that you can explore to put more capital to work that gives you better upside potential as well as more risk protection, and do your research on whether or not PE, hedge funds, venture capital makes the most sense for what you're trying to build and the portfolio composition you want to have. Next, entrepreneurial opportunities. Now, when you have 100K can start a few businesses. It can acquire other businesses. It can do a bunch of things. It can fund some of your friends that have businesses. You can tap into entrepreneurial opportunities that can have significant upside potential to the equity that you want to build. You can start a company with 100K and have that thing sell to a larger company for $1 million, $2 million because of hard work and effort. But that 100K is just your startup cap. So I want you to consider and explore entrepreneurial opportunities if it makes sense for you. But if you're happy in your job, you're generating a bunch of cash from that, and you have a really good index fund portfolio as well as a side hustle, keep that stuff going. But if you want to, you can start a really cool business with $100,000. And then lastly, once you're hitting $100,000 of net worth, it opens up a different tier of resources, people, and a network. And what I want you to do is I want you to start moving how 100,000aires move. Start moving how millionaires move. That is right. Read the things they're reading, go to the different conferences, network with different people and business owners and investors, because now you can start speaking the language of $100,000 language. You can start investing bigger checks into things. You can start purchasing tickets to go to higher profile conferences and meeting with other people that can drastically transform your life, your business life. I want you to tap into the potential of the people you're meeting once you start moving in a higher upper middle class, higher, richer lifestyle circles. This doesn't mean you give up on your friends that were with you from day one. Never do that. I love my dogs. What I want you to do is start opportunistically finding out ways you can hone your skills, build your network, and level up and 10x your potential by the people that you're spending time around. And for me, what really helped me was surrounding myself by people that were millionaires, billionaires, and learning from them, going to conferences around industries that I'm interested in or investments that I wanted to make, and just consuming and soaking in as much stuff that I possibly could that people that were tiers and different levels of wealth above me were doing on a daily basis. That tackles it. So in this video, we completely built our rocket ship of $100,000 ship. We talked about why it is going to take us to the moon because it has more scalability and compounding effects. And then lastly, we touched on the things that you need to consider and explore to take that $100,000 portfolio and transform that into $1 million portfolio. But fundamentally, the name of the game is to invest as early as you can, put as much regularly as you can, and keep it in the game as long as you feasibly can. Because for people like us, All we really need is time for our wealth to start working for us. All right, guys, so that's it. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to first and foremost give yourself a pat on the back and thank yourself for investing in your knowledge and your resources into learning how to stack 100K and turn that into hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars. But if you want to, you can smash that like button down below. It means the world to the community. And leave me a comment. What are some of the things, if you do have 100K, that you did to make that $100,000? And I love to hear so you can support somebody else and their journey of building wealth as well. And I know I said it in this video a lot, but index funds, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to build wealth in the stock market. But if you want a breakdown or index funds 101, check out this video where I'll unpack everything about index funds, as well as my favorite one that's going to be making me millions of dollars in the future. So that does it, guys. I appreciate you guys rocking for us. Make sure you guys stay in the mix, stay invested, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.